rage, stay in your lane, turn the page, but something woke up deep inside, a stronger voice, a wilder ride. I've paid my dues, I know my worth, I've fallen down, I've had rebirth. Now I'm standing in my truth, not chasing time, I'm choosing me. I've got wisdom in my bones, fire in my soul. This isn't the ending, this is the moment I take control. Life gets better after 40, clearer vision, brighter glow. I'm not fading, I'm ascending. This is the best I've ever known. Stronger, bolder, unapologetic. I'm just getting started, don't you see? 40's forward, this is my time. The future's finally looking like me.
Brain, mood, and energy. Why you don't feel like yourself after 40. So welcome to 40s Forward, the podcast where we don't age quietly, we age boldly. I'm Dr. Betsy Greenleaf, and this is where we talk honestly about health, hormones, vitality, performance, and what really happens to your body and brain after the age of 40. If you've ever walked into a room and forgotten why you were there, misplaced your keys, if you've ever searched for a word that used to come easily, and if you've thought, why do I feel flat, unmotivated, or anxious when my life looks perfectly fine on paper, then this episode is for you. Because today we're talking about brain fog, mood changes, anxiety, motivation, and energy in midlife, and why these symptoms are not a personal failure or inevitable aging. So let's move 40s forward together because we're not going downhill, we're leveling up. Am I losing my mind? Whew. I hear this question almost daily. Am I getting early dementia? Why can't I find words? Why does my brain feel slower? Why don't I feel driven like I used to? Why is my anxiety worse now than in my 20s? And behind those questions is fear. Fear of cognitive decline, fear of losing yourself, fear that something is wrong and permanent. So let me say this clearly and right up front. Most midlife brain fog is not dementia. Most midlife mood changes are not depression. And most midlife burnout is not weakness. They are signals, and your brain is trying to get your attention. So why word finding and memories change after 40? So let's start with the most common concern. Why am I forgetting names or words or where I put my keys? This is one of the scary symptoms for high achieving people because we have built careers on sharp thinking and verbal fluency. And what's actually happening? Your brain after the age of 40 is undergoing neurochemical and metabolic shifts. Hormones like estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, cortisol, insulin, all these hormones interact with neurotransmitters like dopamine, serotonin, acetylcholine, and GABA. Estrogen, in particular, plays a powerful role in word retrieval, verbal memory, processing speed, cognitive flexibility. When estrogen fluctuates, especially in perimenopausal women, the brain has to relearn how to communicate efficiently. The pause you feel when searching for a word, that memory blank, this is not neuronal nerve death. This is neurotransmitter recalibration. So brain fog versus dementia. What's the difference? This distinction matters because in brain fog, this can come and go. It worsens with stress, poor sleep, hormonal shifts, sometimes late night and pushing yourself too far. You'll find out I'm recording this at night, so we'll see how many times I trip over my words. Improves with rest, balance, and support. And you're aware of it. Whereas in early dementia, it tends to be progressive, persistent, affects daily functioning, is often noticed by others first, and most people with true cognitive decline are not worried about it. The people worried are usually the ones experiencing functional overload, not nerve degeneration. Your brain isn't failing, it's just overwhelmed. So why motivation feels differently after the age of 40? So let's talk about motivation. Many high achieving people say, I don't feel depressed. I just don't care the way I used to. This is not laziness. This is dopamine dysregulation. So, dopamine is your motivation chemical, it's your drive chemical, it's your reward chemical. Chronic stress, hormonal shifts, poor sleep, and constant responsibility will blunt dopamine signaling. Your brain stops responding to the hustle, external validation, endless to do lists. Not because you're broken, but because your nervous system is tired of survival mode. Your brain is asking, what actually matters now? And so, why does anxiety get worse in midlife and beyond? So many people say, I was never anxious before, but now I feel wired, overwhelmed, or on edge. And here's why. Estrogen mainly modulates GABA, your calming neurotransmitter. As estrogen fluctuates, those GABA signals weaken, stress feels louder, anxiety surfaces more easily. Now, add to that sleep disruption, blood sugar instability, cortisol elevation, and suddenly your nervous system feels fragile, even though you're strong. This is not regression, this is sensitivity. So your brain is less tolerant of chaos, and that's not a flaw. So, burnout masquerading as depression. This is one of the most missed diagnoses in midlife. Burnout often looks like flat mood, low motivation, brain fog, irritability, emotional numbness. But the cause isn't chemical depression, it's prolonged overextension. So, high achieving individuals are especially vulnerable because they can carry this invisible stress. They self sacrifice, they don't rest well, and they perform through exhaustion. So, eventually, your brain goes, I can't do this anymore at this pace. Your brain's like, I quit. So, as it downshifts, that's not depression, that's self preservation. So, brain fog isn't aging, it's a signal. This is one of the most important reframes. Brain fog is not a diagnosis, it's a message. It can signal hormone imbalance, sleep debt, blood sugar instability, inflammation, nutrient deficiencies, and one of the most commonly overlooked things is dehydration. Dehydration often presents as brain fog. Also, chronic stress, identity misalignment, and the brain is metabolically expensive. So it takes a lot for the brain to function. So when resources are low, it conserves. That doesn't mean decline, it just means reprioritization of the brain. And like I said, I've got some perfect examples of tripping over words tonight. So, why high achieving women and men burn out after 40? This deserves its own moment because midlife is often when careers are peaking, children need you differently, aging parents require more care, your identity may be shifting, and you're doing more with fewer reserves. So your brain starts to say, this way of being is no longer working. So burnout is not failure, it's feedback. And this is where we really need to be listening to what our body's trying to tell us. Often we're pushing and pushing through things, but taking the time to listen to what your body has to tell you is important. So the midlife identity shift no one talks about. This is something that's very quiet. No one talks about this, but after 40, many people realize I've been living for everyone else. Your brain fog actually may be grief. Your flat mood may be truth, and your anxiety may be misalignment. So your nervous system is recalibrating toward meaning, alignment, integrity. And that can feel uncomfortable. But remember, it's growth. So, what actually helps brain, mood, and energy? So, this is not about quick fixes. So, those energy drinks are not going to make a difference. In fact, could potentially make things worse. So, support is really going to come from looking at the body, mind, spirit as a whole. So, we need to be looking at hormonal balance, blood sugar regulation, nervous system regulation, sleep restoration, proper hydration, strength training, cognitive rest. When this is happening, give yourself grace. Identity realignment. And this is really an integrated care, not symptom suppression. So we also need to be looking at forming community, friends, spiritual wellness. All these are going to become a part of that support. So this is exactly what I do as a whole person approach at the International Pause Institute. So I don't label people as broken. We decode the signals, we restore the balance, and I support the brain, body, and identity shifts together. So if you're interested in finding more, go to thepauseinstitute.com. But more importantly, make sure you search out a practitioner that's not going to just throw supplements and drugs at you to cover the symptoms. We need to get down to the cause. So if your brain feels different, your mood feels unfamiliar, and your energy doesn't match your ambition, you are not declining, you're evolving. So thank you for listening to 40s Forward. Stay curious, stay compassionate with yourself, and always remember, we're not going downhill, we're leveling up. Make sure you like, follow, and keep coming back for more with 40s Forward, because we're covering the topics that you need to know in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. This is your host, Dr. Betsy Greenleaf. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and I'll see you soon.
The top 10 supplements for brain health, mood, and memory after 40. Thanks for coming back in this segment. We're talking about something many of you ask me about all the time: supplements for brain health, mood, and memory. If you're over 40 and feeling foggy, flat, anxious, or just not as sharp as you used to be, you've probably wondered, is there a supplement that actually helps? Are supplements even effective? And how do I know what's safe or worth my money? Today, I'm going to walk you through the top 10 supplements that have the strongest evidence for supporting brain health, mood, and memory. And just as importantly, how to use them responsibly. Important ground rules. Before we jump into the list, I want to say this clearly. Supplements are tools, not magic. They work best when hormones are supported, sleep is addressed, blood sugar is stable, stress is managed, and not all supplements are created equally. Quality, dosing, formulation, and absorption matter. Always follow manufacturer recommendations. Your practitioner's guidance, more is not better. 1. Omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA. Omega-3s are foundational for brain health. The brain is largely made of fat, and DHA is a critical structural component of brain cell membranes. Studies consistently show omega-3's support. Memory mood regulation, reduced inflammation, lower risk of cognitive decline. They also support neurotransmitter signaling and cerebral blood flow. Look for high-quality fish oil or algae-based DHA, third-party testing for purity. 2. Magnesium, especially glycinate or threonate. Magnesium is one of the most under-recognized nutrients for brain health. It plays a role in stress response, GABA activity, calming neurotransmitter, sleep quality, cognitive performance. Magnesium threonate, in particular, crosses the blood-brain barrier and has been studied for memory and learning. Many adults are deficient, especially those under chronic stress. 3. B-complex vitamins, especially B6, B9, B12. B vitamins are essential for neurotransmitter production, methylation, energy production. Mood regulation, low B12 in particular, is associated with brain fog, memory issues, depression-like symptoms. Absorption can decline with age, medications, and gut issues. Active or methylated forms are often better tolerated. 4. Vitamin D. Vitamin D receptors are found throughout the brain. Low vitamin D levels are associated with depression, cognitive decline, increased inflammation. Vitamin D supports neuroprotection, immune regulation. Mood stability testing is ideal since dosing needs vary widely. 5. L-theanine. L-theanine is an amino acid found in green tea. It supports calm focus, reduced anxiety, improved attention without sedation. It works by increasing alpha brain waves and modulating GABA, dopamine, and serotonin. This can be especially helpful for people who feel anxious but tired, wired but unfocused. 6. Rhodiola rosea. Rhodiola is an adaptogenic herb with research supporting its use for mental fatigue, burnout stress resilience, cognitive endurance. It helps regulate cortisol and supports mitochondrial energy production. This is particularly useful for high-achieving individuals experiencing burnout masked as depression. 7. Ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is another adaptogen with strong evidence for stress reduction, anxiety support, improved sleep quality. Studies show it can lower cortisol levels and improve perceived stress. This can indirectly improve memory and focus by calming the nervous system. 10. Probiotics, brain-gut axis support. Your gut and brain are in constant communication. The gut microbiome influences mood anxiety, neurotransmitter production, inflammation. Certain probiotic strains have been shown to support mood and cognitive function through the gut-brain axis. This is not one size fits all, but gut health matters more than most people realize. Important reminders about supplements. A few key points to remember. Supplements are not regulated like medications. Quality varies widely. Cheap supplements are often underdosed or poorly absorbed. More importantly, supplements should support your physiology, not override it. Always. Follow dosing recommendations. Coordinate with your practitioner. Reassess over time. Big picture takeaway. Supplements can support brain health, mood, and memory, but they work best as part of a larger strategy. If you're foggy, flat, or anxious after 40, the answer is rarely one pill. The answer is understanding. Hormones, stress, sleep, nutrition, nervous system health. Where 8. Curcumin from turmeric. Curcumin has potent anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Neuroinflammation plays a role in brain fog, mood changes, cognitive decline. Curcumin has been studied for memory, mood. Neuroprotection, absorption matters. Look for bioavailable formulations. 9. Phosphatidylserine. Phosphatidylserine is a phospholipid found in brain cell membranes. It supports memory focus, stress response. It has been shown to help regulate cortisol and support cognitive performance, especially under stress. If you want personalized guidance on supplements, hormone balance, brain health, and whole person optimization, this is exactly what we do at the International Pause Institute. Follow us on social media for evidence-based education you can trust. Visit pauseinstitute.com to learn more. Thank you for taking the time to listen to the 40s Forward podcast. And remember, we're not going downhill. We're leveling up. Remember to like, follow, and share, and come back for more.
Life gets better after 40, clearer, vision brighter glow. I'm not fading, I'm ascending. This is the best I've ever known. Stronger, bolder, unapologetic. I'm just getting started, don't you see? 40s forward, this is my time. The future's finally looking like me. We got wisdom, we got fire, we got nothing left to prove. This is power, this is freedom, this is living fully you. Life gets better after 40, this is where I rise and shine. 40's forward, full of purpose. I'm stepping into my